Why are so many young, healthy men struggling with erectile dysfunction? You're working out, you're eating healthy, your labs look normal, and yet when it matters most, your body doesn't respond the way you expect. If that sounds familiar, this video is going to change how you understand erectile dysfunction completely. I'm Dr. Arun Chaturvedi, psychiatrist and clinical researcher, and today we're going to break down why ED can happen even when everything on the surface looks healthy, and more importantly, what you can do about it. So let's start with the critical misconception. Most people think erectile dysfunction is a problem of blood flow or testosterone, and while that can be true in older men and younger men, that's usually not the primary issue. In fact, if you're young and otherwise healthy, your body is almost always capable of having a normal erection. The real issue lies somewhere else, and it lies in the brain-body connection. So an erection is not just a physical event, it's a neurological event, and it requires coordination between your brain, your nervous system, your hormones, and your blood vessels. And if any one part of that system is disrupted, even slightly, you can experience ED. So let's break down the most common causes I see in younger men. First is performance anxiety. This is the number one driver. It usually starts very subtly. Maybe one time things don't go as planned. And from that moment forward, a seed gets planted in your head. What if it happens again? Now, instead of being present, your mind starts monitoring performance. And the moment you do that, your brain shifts into a stress response. And here's what happens physiologically. Your sympathetic nervous system activates your fight or flight system. Adrenaline rises. Cortisol rises. And blood flow is redirected away from non-essential functions, including sexual function. Erections require the opposite state. They require activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and relax system. So the more you think about it, the more you interfere with it. It gets worse. Second reason is dopamine overstimulation. Your brain runs on reward pathways. And in today's world, those pathways are constantly being overstimulated. High-speed content, endless scrolling on social media, constant novelty, your brain gets to a high level of stimulation. Now, when you're in a real life situation, which is slower, more subtle, more emotionally complex, your brain doesn't respond the same way. You may get an initial erection, but sustaining it requires ongoing engagement from your brain. And if your brain isn't fully engaged, the signal drops and the erection follows. So that's the second cause. The third cause is disconnection from your body. Many men today are living almost entirely in their heads. They're analyzing, they're overthinking, they're self-monitoring, and instead of experiencing the moment, you're observing yourself in the moment. That disconnect reduces the neurological reinforcement needed to maintain an erection. Because again, this is not just physical, this is a brain-driven process. Fourth, sleep and recovery. You can look healthy on the outside, but if your sleep is poor, your physiology is not optimized. Testosterone production is heavily influenced by sleep. So is your mood, your energy, and your stress tolerance. So even mild sleep deprivation can increase cortisol and reduce your ability to stay in a relaxed state. And that directly impacts sexual performance. Fifth, subtle psychological factors. This includes stress, pressure, relationship dynamics, even underlying low mood or anxiety that you may not consciously recognize. Your brain is constantly evaluating safety and threat, and if it perceives pressure, judgment, or expectation, it will shift out of a performance state. Now, here's the important part. All of these factors are reversible. It's not a permanent dysfunction. This is a system that has become dysregulated, but once you understand the system, you can start correcting it. And so what do? First, stop chasing the erection. The more you focus on getting or keeping an erection, the more you activate performance anxiety. You have to shift your focus to being present, to sensation, to connection. That's what naturally supports the physiology. Second, reset your brain's reward system. Reduce overstimulation and give your brain space to recalibrate. When you lower the baseline level of stimulation, real life experiences actually become more engaging again, and that directly improves performance. Third, train your nervous system. This is where techniques like slow breathing come in. When you slow your breathing, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system. You're telling your body you're safe and safety is required for an erection. Even something as simple as controlled, slow nasal breathing can make a significant difference. Fourth, you have to optimize your sleep. This is non-negotiable. Consistent sleep improves testosterone, it reduces stress hormones, and it stabilizes your mood, all of which support sexual function. Fifth, change how you interpret setbacks. One episode of ED does not define you, but how you respond to it does. If you panic, analyze, and carry it forward, you reinforce the problem. And if you accept it and move on, you break the cycle. So I'm going to leave you with this. If you're young and healthy, your body's not broken, your system is capable, what you're experiencing is a temporary disruption in how your brain and body are communicating. And that's something you can fix. Now, if you want to learn how to optimize your mental and physical performance at a deeper level, subscribe to this channel, The Doctor's Edge, because when you understand the system, you stop guessing and you start taking control. I'll see you in the next video.